네, 식구님 여러분 안녕하십니까?
Members, brother, sister, hello everyone.
예, 요 며칠 정말
Past few days,
혼란스러운 날들이 많이 있었지만
there were many confusing moments and frustrated moments, but
정말
now,
어머님의 바람처럼
just how True Mother wants and True Mother desires,
조금씩 서로를 더 이해하고 하나가 되어
bit
가고
by
있는 것
bit,
같습니다.
I feel like we
노력해
are
주셔서
trying to
감사드립니다.
understand each other and becoming one. Thank you very much for all your effort.
식구님 여러분들께서는 정말 아마 이 며칠
Our
돌아보기가
members,
싫으실 것 같습니다.
I believe that you might not even want to look back past few
너무도
days.
슬프고
For us,
힘들었던
it was truly sorrowful, sad, and difficult time
저는
for us.
사실 여기서
But to
배울
be
점이
honest,
있다고
I believe there's
개인적으로
something
느끼고 있습니다.
we can learn from this.
그것이 뭐냐 하면
What that is,
사실 가정연합은
to be honest, the
어떠한
Family
지도자나
Federation
어떠한 특정 인물이 움직이는 것이 아니라
is not moved by one
식구들이
leader,
움직인다는 것을
but it is
아마
moved
여러분들은
by
다
our members.
느끼셨을 것 같습니다.
I'm certain that you felt this before.
첫 번째로는
Firstly,
얼마나 식구님들이 어머님을 사랑하는지를 그 분노를 통해서 저희들은 볼 수 있었고
we're able to see how our members love our true mother so much through their angers.
지도부와의 정말 어려운 감정들을
This
보여줌으로써
by showing difficult relationship and
드디어
emotions that we
정말
have with the
제가
leaders,
오랫동안 안타깝게
finally, something that I've
이
been feeling
식구들
sorrowful,
한 명 한
of
명이
every
중심
single one
인물이
of our
있고
member
주체성을 갖고 있고 이 가정연합을
is a central
움직이고
figure,
있다는 것을 저희들은
has
느낄 수 있었을 것
their
같습니다.
own mindset of how to lead
저희들은 어떠한 한 사람이
the providence of their own.
참
I'm
좋은
pretty sure we
것이에요.
were able to felt
한
this.
사람이 대표하는 것이
Is
아니라
besides your parents,
모두
one person cannot represent
이 길을
all
가고
of
있고
us. All of us
모두
chose this path.
신앙으로서 하루하루
All of us,
걸어가고 있고
with our faith, we are walking our life.
이 사실을
And this fact,
정말
this
저에게
truth,
있어서는 감당하기 힘들었던 파도긴 했지만 그거를 직접 본 입장에서
although it was very
얼마나 우리
difficult
식구들이
wave that I need to
강인하고
overcome, but as I watched it, I was able to see how
힘이
strong our members
흔들리지
are
않는지
and how
저는
they
느낄 수 있었습니다.
don't hinder despite such difficult. That's what I was able to feel.
저는 여기서 근데 한 가지 저희가 배워야 할 점이 있는 것 같습니다.
But I think there's one thing we must learn.
사실 이 분노는
So this anger
하루아침에 생긴 건 아니고
that we feel did not
정말
happen
오랫동안
overnight. It has been
오랫동안
accumulated
식구들이,
for
지도자들이
long periods.
느껴져 나오던 그 감정들에서
It came out from the emotions that
심정들에서
we had by our
터져
that
나온 것이고
our members, our leaders had, and that kind of exploded
이거는
through this
정말 저희
incident.
가정연합에 부모님을 너무도 사랑하고 천혜국을 너무도 이루고 싶지만
This
그러한
is something
모습들이 비춰지지 않는
like, although we want to love our true parents, although we want to
우리들이 생활하는 공동체
fulfill 천일국, but the reality that we have faced up until now, very sorrowful reality that we have been
그 이상을
witnessing,
현실에서 비추지 못하는 데 있어서 그 분노가
which is far
실감했다고
from the ideal
저는 개인적으로 생각합니다.
world that we have been expecting. I believe that's where everything began.
그랬습니다.
I was the
많이
same.
어리지만
I am very
사실
young,
어렸을 때부터
but since young
어머니께서
age,
저희들을 이제 중심 인물로
True Mother nurtured us,
기르시면서
educated us
정말
as our central figures, and really at a close proximity of True Mother, we actually saw and hear all those rumors and gossips and all different things. At first, I was just angry. How can they think like that? How can they say?
저 사람이
How can that
어떻게
person?
누구누구가
How can that so and
어떤
so?
사람, 특정 사람들이
How can
그런 행동을
specific
할 수 있을까?
person can act in such a way?
정말 참기 힘들고
I couldn't bear such
하지만 어머님은 쓰시고 계신데
things. But your mother is still standing.
그래서 여러분들의
This
분노를
kind
너무도
of anger, I can truly understand all of your anger.
그러나 오랜
But
기간
for a long time, as I watched,
저는 어느 시점에서
at one
그
moment,
생각을 했습니다.
I thought to myself,
만일 내가 그 지도자의 위치에 있었다면
if I was in the leader's shoes,
안할 수 있었을까?
would I be certain that I wouldn't make the same mistake?
타락성을 한번
And I
성찰했습니다.
reflected my own fallen
내가
nature.
정말 그 권력과
If I have
그 힘이
that much
있었다면
power, that much authority,
그러한 행동을 안 할 자신이 있는가?
do I feel
솔직히 자신이
confident
없었습니다.
that I will not work that way? To be honest, I wasn't sure. I wasn't certain.
그러면서 그때 제가 든 생각은
And one thing that came into my mind at that moment is that
지금까지
up until now,
있는 많은 어려운 문제들을 외부에서만 찾았었는데
I've been searching for the problems of our family foundation external aspect, but
이상적인 모습이 되지 않았음에도
even though I haven't become ideal person,
다른 이들에게서 찾고
I have
있었다.
been looking for answer. I've been looking answers from others, from
그리고 저는
not within myself.
정말 부모님께서 저희에게 가르치시는 천국이란 어떤 곳인가?
And so I wonder what is the heaven that your parents really wants to teach us. From my understanding,
지옥을 영계에 갈 때
when we go to spirit world,
누구도 저희를 심판하진 않습니다.
nobody judges us whether we go to heaven or hell.
저희들의 양심에 의해서
Based on our
저희들의
consciousness,
사랑의 그릇에
based
의해서
on
알아서 저희들은
the amount of love we have,
한다고 배웠어요.
we move automatically, naturally.
그리고 저는 생각했습니다.
So I thought to myself,
내가 나의 그릇을 키우지 않고
if I don't
사실 나
wa-
또한
make my heart
다른
wider,
보다 작은 레벨일 수 있지만
and although I may have
다른 이들에게는
smaller love than
어떠한
others,
아픔이나 어떠한 힘든 감정을 느끼게 했을 수 있구나.
I might have made other people feel anger, feel discomfort, feel negative emotion through me.
나를 먼저 돌아본 다음에
I should reflect myself
그들을
first,
바라볼 필요도
and
있었구나.
and I should look at them. I believe I needed that moment. Of course, what the mistakes they have made is not right, but
질타할 수 있는 자격은 내 자신도 느끼기에
I can feel that I'm not adequate person to actually judge them. That's what I thought.
그러나 동시에
But at
그
the same
깨달음이
time,
왔을 때
when I realized this,
너무도 머리가
truly,
아팠습니다.
I had a big headache.
사실
To be honest,
너무 이걸 실행하기가 어렵지 않습니까?
it's really difficult to actually practice this, right?
너무도 타락성이 잘
You know,
보이고
I can see other person's fallen nature very well, and other person when that person treats me,
정말 신뢰되는 그런 행동을 보이는데도
he is still showing very
그들을 계속
disrespectful
사랑하고 그들을 계속
moments.
이해하고
But I had to love them. I had to try to
그들과
understand them.
함께 보내기가
and
너무 어렵지
I had to
않습니까?
spend so much time. But it's very difficult, right?
내가 변한다 해서 세상이 변할까?
Would this world change even if I change? If one person of myself
우리
change,
전체가 변할까?
can all of us change?
나는 과연 중요한가?
Am I really that
나는 우리
important?
가정연합에
Within
영향을
Family
줄수
Federation,
있는가?
do I have any influence over?
우리를 바꾸는 건 지도부부터 바꿔야 하지 않나?
don't we-
지도부가 먼저
don't-
바뀌어야지
I believe we
지도부는
should
바뀌지 않나?
we should change leadership. Only then we can
그런
change
생각을
our
했었어요.
members. That's the thought that I used to have.
하지만 어제 저는
However, yesterday,
이틀 동안
for last
목격했어요.
2 days, I witnessed.
사실은
Oh,
나 혼자서 이 뜻길을 가고 있지 않았다는 사실을 다시금
I wasn't the only one who have been walking this
모두가
path.
같은 이상향을
I realized this. Everybody
모두가
wants to
지상적으로
reach
자라고 있고
the idea where everybody wants to live in the kingdom of heaven on earth. Every one of us has been looking at the same same destination, but we have forgotten that we couldn't trust each other. In some ways, I didn't believe
내가 바뀌면 바뀔까?
others.
그러면서
Would a person change if I
어제
change?
신우이가 좋아하는 폭포의 비유가 있습니다.
Yesterday, there's a waterfall
어제 저도 그
metaphor
낭떠러지
that Shinung likes.
드렸는데
I also shared a metaphor of the cliff.
사실 강이 모이기 전에는
But before the water is gathered to river,
그 물이
water is scattered
물이
many
어디서
different
나올지 몰라요.
places. You never know where the water will come out.
시냇물은 뭐
Some
산에서
river
출발할 수
may
있고,
start from
어떤
the,
거는 길로 떨어질 수 있고,
from top of the mountain. Some water can come down from ocean. Some water can come up from
시냇물들이
the
서로를
ground.
몰라요.
But the waters do not know each other.
그러나 흐르다 보면
But as they flow,
하나가 되고
they become one.
그것이 강이 되고
That will eventually become
그것이
river,
폭포가
and
되고,
that will eventually
어제와
become
같이
a fall,
정말
waterfall.
그
And
누구도
just
막히지
like
못한
yesterday,
파도가 됩니다.
it can become a wave,
사실 어제
just like how we saw yesterday.
물론 천시몬을 기점으로
Yesterday,
그
centering on
파도가
Cheonshim,
잦아들었을 수 있어요.
that wave might have settled
하지만 그
down,
파도를 멈춘 거는
but the
뭐 천의
reason
축소가
why the
아니고
wave stopped was not because of inheritance of heaven's love and blessing, not because of fourth position foundation, not because of President Gisong,
개개인
but
식구들입니다.
it was members, each and every one of members.
여러분들이 품으려고 노력하기에
Because you tried to
그 분노가
embrace
작아질 수 있었고,
that anger was able to be reduced, because
사랑하고 노력하기에
you tried to love
저희는
each
하나님
other,
나아갈 수
we
있었습니다.
were able to step one more step forward.
저하고 나머지는
Us and rest,
방향성은 제시할 수 있지만
we may choose
거센
direction
파도를 바꿀
where
수는
we can
없어요.
go, but we cannot change
그리고 이
the
힘든
wave,
시기에
the course of the
저희들은
wave.
이걸
During this
기억해야
difficult
합니다.
time, we must remember this.
외부에서는 저희들에게 계속
In external world,
흩어놓으려고 해요.
is trying to separate
저희들이
us.
하나가 되지 않길 원해요.
They do not want us to become one.
저희들이 시냇물일 때
When we
저희
are
앞에
small
장애물을
river,
놓고
they want to block us by putting an obstacle there so that we won't be able to meet, so that we won't able to check each other's heart.
방향성으로 저희를
Throughout many different courses, they are trying to pull us into their direction so that they can separate us. However, we should never forget
내가 어머님을 사랑하는 만큼
the amount of love that I have toward True Mother, that we have toward True Mother. We should love our members around us. Just as how much we love our family federation, our community should love each other just like how much we love each other, how much we love our family federation. Because of that, we don't have to hinder. We don't have to waver. We don't have any reason to be hindered. Truly, if we all become one, no matter what other people say, no matter persecution, no matter criticism they make, it's pointless. You know, when there's a strong river with strong current, when we throw a rock, of course, that surface that the rock is may be disturbed, but you cannot change the course of the water. Truly, the direction the True Mother is asking us to go, the current the True Mother has made, if we center our True Mother and if we take action based on this current, based on True Mother's teaching, if we take action based on that, we cannot be hindered. We cannot hinder ourselves. So what I think is that, you know, Cheoniguk tradition and principle, it's very important. But I feel like sometimes we think too much of confusing, difficult things, complicated things. Because we've been studying things that are complicated. Maybe we're thinking things too complicated. You know, Heavenly Parent would not have hid everything that is too complicated for us. Sometimes Heavenly Parent just want us to simply remember our essence through simplicity. If we spend such a day, that itself is enough to grow ourselves. every day. And that is to love each other, to forgive each other.
서로를 이해하면서
And as we understand each other, we should become one. That is all the principle that we need.
예, 예. 제가 물론 이렇게 말해버리면
If I say it like this,
수련하면서 갑자기 우린 이제
Trinity
원리만
Center
공부해야 된다. 이거는
might
아닙니다.
say,
원리는
might think that we shouldn't
중요하지만
teach divine principle. But that's not
가장
it.
중요한
Divine
거는
principle is
그
very
원리 속에
important,
숨겨진
but within the
그
principle,
원리 속에
the
담겨져
most
있는
important aspect
참 부모님의 가르침의 본질,
and the fundamental
하나님
essence of true parents' teaching, essence of heavenly parent teaching
사랑하고
is forgive, love,
만일
and
저
become
또한
one.
그 본질을 기억하지 못했다면
If I did not
함께
remember this
파도에
essence,
휩쓸려 갔을 수
I
있습니다.
would have went with such
근데 그렇다면
wave of anger.
저희들은 어머님에게
Then
너무
if that
큰
happened,
아픔을
we
드렸을 겁니다.
would have given true mother a big
제가
big
아니었어도
heartache.
그 누구가 됐든
No,
괜찮습니다.
it's okay if it isn't me, as long as if we remember, if there's one person who can remember this, forgive, love, and to become one, that will become the central figure, and that person can change this group. I believe all of us must think like owner. We have the sense of ownership. In every community, in every church, of course, I too have friends whom really makes me difficult to really spend time with them. But even though we have such people around us, we should try to understand them, try to reach our hands, and do not put too big of a goal. If I didn't speak one word today, maybe I can say just a simple hello to that person. So we should all think about these words, which is, have I loved more today than yesterday? Was I able to forgive more than yesterday? More today than yesterday? So was I able to think more about our church, more about our community, more about true parents, more about our public leaders? Have I ever thought about that before? If all of us make these thoughts, we cannot help but to grow. During these grave, difficult times, we must remember, we must embed it within our heart, and we must move forward together. That's what I believe. Together, let's move forward together. Thank you.